Hey manifestors, Meera Allen with your Manifesting Destiny Moon Update. We are just upon a full moon in Leo, that line and that fire sign. Let's get into these times. It'll be the 2nd of February at 8:09 a.m. for Brisbane, Australia, 9:09 a.m. for Sydney, and 6:09 a.m. for Perth. That's on the 2nd of Feb. 1st of February, it'll be 10:09 p.m. for LA. No, I lie, London. 2:09 p.m. for LA, 5:09 p.m. for New York City. So, wherever you are in the world, please look up your time and you will know when this new moon is, full moon is. I'm just in this rising sun right now. It's quite amazing. We have the sun in Aquarius. The sun is also in Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto. So, the sun in this opposition of Leo. Sun is in that Aquarius, the avant-garde thinker, the air sign, very mind, driven and always looking at things a little bit out of the box. The water bearer, so bringing new ideas, new ways to flow, new ways of creativity. Even at this time of the world, new currencies, new way of looking at exchange, new way in the way that we share our energies with each other, how we share our skills, how we share our, even in between different countries, how we trade between different countries as well. So we're looking at new ways in technology, new ways in AI, new ways in every sort of innovation that you can think of. So there's a lot of Aquarius energy going on. We're starting to, what is that? Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Welcoming the new age of Aquarius. Well, if you're not going to have the new age of Aquarius come in right now and be amplified, especially when happy birthday, we've moved into Aquarius season. So this Sun, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, this Aquarius bombardment, Venus, the way we love, Sun, the way we see ourselves in our day-to-day, Pluto, that, ever changing, a little bit volatile, observing, a little kind of naughty, out of the box kind of thinking of Pluto, and Mars, the way we war is, and both Mars and Venus are both in Aquarius. I know this is going to be a full moon video about Leo, but let's get through this Aquarius-ness that is taking over. Be aware at the moment, where can you be really heady? Where can you be in the air? Where can you be a bit in the mind? And how do you bring that down this full moon in Leo, in the opposing sign of fire, in the heart? You think about Leo, the lion. It's an individual, giant heart that's beating, that wants to roar, that wants to express itself in its fire, that wants to shine a bit brighter, that wants to be seen. Where does the spotlight in you be illuminated at its best? Where can you let that fire energy feed the air, and instead of it becoming an explosive energy, rather figuring out, how can I do things differently, away from the pack, away from the crowd, away from the norm, and do things that is definitely in tune with my heart? And you think about brain and heart, I always talk about that, especially I have a whole course on brain and heart coherence. So how do you get vocal confidence? How do you speak clearly? It's because your brain and your heart come together and you can actually share your word. It's between heart chakra, anahata, ajna, your third eye, coming together at Vishuddhi and speaking. What are you speaking into existence this particular full moon in Leo? How are you separating yourself from the pack? How are you letting yourself illuminate and shine? How do you walk like a champion, dance like a champion? How do you talk like a champion? How do you bring out that champion part of yourself? So this is the main message, this full moon in Leo. Where are you setting your unique self from your heart expression, how do you share that with the world? How do you give that? And how do you live authentically in your truth? And how can you balance your brain, your Aquarian self, your new way of thinking, your reinvention of yourself, your manifestation? We're also in about, 2 weeks going to be in that powerful new moon, Chinese New Year as well. And that's going to shift a lot of consciousness in this fire horse year that's coming up. So think about the element of fire. How do you commune with the sun? How do you commune with your core? What do you put in your body to eat and digest? How does your fire and your air elements come together? So much going on in Aquarius, in the air element. How do you breathe in your life? I went to the comedy show on the weekend, and it was just so fun to have that laughter, because that laughter is air element combining with fire element of your core. Think about it, when you laugh, you're engaging your core in little bursts because you're bringing that laughter. How do you bring motivation into your life? What is it that you choose to eat? How does your digestive fire work? How do you balance the way you breathe, your breath work, your pranayama, or whatever you do, your breathing? How do you have access to that breath of life? How do you live your life fully from a passionate place in your heart? How do those two things come together rather than exploding where it's tumultuous? Think of how it can be harmonious for you. You might be going against the grain right now. You might be doing things a little bit out of the box, a little bit different. And how do you let that shine in your unique way? So it's an individual way, but Aquarius wants you to look at the collective of humanity and how to create in a different way, and how to elevate and push the boundaries of innovation and technology and self-exploration, as well as exploration around your own planet and outside of our own planet. And how do we deal with that? Technology is going fast. How do you keep up with the AI world and all these things? But how do you stay still, really connected to the truth of what your heart really wants? Like that Leo starts to pull out of you in that lion heart. How do you express that? What is your soul song? My name is Meera Allen. I do moon updates every new moon, every full moon. And for the junglers out there, walk like a champion, dance like a champion. Namaste.